The decision by Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy to retire by July 31st could have a blockbuster impact on Wisconsin and other states regarding Roe v. Wade, giving women the legal right to abortion in 50 states. Now, that 1973 ruling has never been more vulnerable than it is now. If President Trump appoints a constructionist, conservative justice, and they overturn Roe v. Wade, that would mean it would go back to the states. Legislatures and governors would decide whether they could have legal abortions in those states. Now, Wisconsin, before Roe v. Wade, outlawed abortion. The trend is that Wisconsin has been restricting abortion access for a long time. In 2014, 96% of women who lived in Wisconsin lived in counties that did not provide abortion, so they had to travel anyway. 67% of Wisconsin women lived in those counties that didn't provide abortions. They've since made it tougher in terms of requiring counseling and having an ultrasound and being counseled not to have one and so forth. And that is the prerogative of Wisconsin's legislature to do that. This would just mean that if a Wisconsin woman wanted to get an abortion legally, she would have to go to Illinois probably or some other state. But this has been the trend for a long time. One of the reasons why this is an unsettled issue and why hundreds of thousands of people protest abortion every year and go to that anniversary march of Roe v. Wade is because it was not settled politically. It wasn't settled democratically. It was settled by a decision by Justice Blackmun. His own clerk wrote later, who is pro-choice, by the way, and for abortion rights, that Justice Blackmun extrapolated this right out of whole cloth. So it's been festering for all these decades. And perhaps it was inevitable that it would go back to the states because of that from the get-go. We'll see. It just means that if this happens, and it'll be a monumental fight to see whether President Trump can get a conservative nominee confirmed before the elections of 2018, it could mean that the states, including Wisconsin, would decide the fate of legalized abortion. And that, to me, is a very likely scenario. And those are my 2 cents. My 2 minutes are brought to you by Capital Consultants and Edge Construction. Mike Tuig and his staff can redo your kitchen, your basement, your bathroom, your staircase, make your home feel just like home. We can discuss this and more next time on 2 Minutes with Mitch.